welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. For those of you that do not know me, I'm a social media manager and an Instagram coach. So today we are talking all about Instagram Reels and what are some common mistakes that I'm seeing that people are making with Instagram Reels that, is making them, not perform as much, right? So these are some proven and tested mistakes that we know don't work, and so you shouldn't be doing them, right? Like, why do something if it's not working, or potentially it's hurting your reel from performing better, right? So let's talk about this Instagram mistakes, and let me know in the comments down below if you have been making any of these mistakes that I'm about to mention, because I'm curious to know if you learned something new here. Like this post if it was helpful in any way, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Okay, let's dive in with all of the Instagram mistakes that I am seeing a lot of people make. First of all, the biggest mistake that you can make on Instagram Reels is posting a reel that has a watermark from TikTok. Instagram really doesn't like this. They have said it themselves a million times, and they are really suppressing videos that have a watermark from TikTok or any other platform, I would say, right? So they really want content that is made specifically for Instagram, and your video having that watermark that it was made and posted on TikTok as well. They really don't like that. So you can easily avoid this by removing the watermark if you have like some TikToks that you want to repurpose and as Instagram Reels. But yeah, don't ever like post them with the watermark, because Instagram really sees that and they really don't like it, right? Which I can't blame them. They are really competitors, and they are really like trying to get the best content that they possibly can on their platform, and they don't want the same content to be everywhere. They want to have like original creators that are creating stuff for the app, which is always great. So yeah, just like don't post something that has a watermark on it. So the second biggest mistake that I see people make is not adding captions on their speaking reels. So if you have a reel where you're speaking, or like someone else is speaking, and it has like a sound that is really like crucial so that people understand like what is going on in your reel, please add captions. There has been research on this, and it turns out that 85% of people watch Facebook Reels on mute. There hasn't really been a statistic for Instagram, but because they are like pretty much kind of like the same thing, Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels, they're getting shown at both places right now, so it's pretty much like the same content. Yeah, I would bet that a lot of Instagram users, maybe it's not 85%, but even if it's less than that, do you really want to like bet that every single person that sees your video has their volume up? I don't think so. We are watching a lot of stuff on mute nowadays, and if you have speaking videos or any sort of captions, any sort of like text that is being said in your reel, whether if it's a sound that you're using, or you are actually speaking in that video, yeah, definitely put captions on. There are a lot of apps that you can use to do this. I think you can also do it on Instagram themselves. They also have like captions, automatic ones that you can add. And you can also use third apps, like I said, to make your captions even like more interesting and on brand. But definitely always put captions on, because if you don't, a lot of the people that watch your reel, they're not gonna know what you're talking about. So yeah, always put captions on. Another mistake that I'm seeing on Instagram Reels is a lot of people are posting videos that have really bad quality and bad lighting behind them, right? And that is something that can easily be fixed, right? And I always say there's just like film yourself in front of a window, so to make sure that you don't have a lot of shadows on your face if possible. There are a lot of tripods and like small lights that you can use right now to like film your videos with. So having bad lighting and adding on top of that some like blurry effects. There are a lot of effects on Instagram, and a lot of them make your videos kind of like blurry and like really lower down the quality of the video that you have in your camera roll. So yeah, be careful of that, because if your video is not that much of a good quality, and then you add a bad blurry effect on the reel itself, then it will just end up being not really good quality. And again, Instagram and the Instagram algorithm really prefers videos that are of a better quality. They have said this themselves, and it is something that is really true. And again, it comes down to they really want all of these apps, they really want content out there that is of a good quality, right? So make sure to invest more into learning how to take good quality videos. With that being said, just like any video from the phone that you're using is of a good quality, like it's enough. But just like make sure that the lighting and the effects and the editing that you're using is not actually lowering down the quality of your video, because it might not perform as good as it could. And also like your audience really likes to see good quality videos. So we all want to see like nice pretty things, right, on Instagram and everywhere. So just like make sure that the videos that you're using are actually like nice, stable, good lighting, not too many blurry effects, and you should be fine. Another mistake that I'm seeing with a lot of reels is not having good hooks. And every video and every reel should start with a really good hook, whether it's a text hook, something that is written on the reel, or it's a visual hook, like something interesting happening in the first couple of seconds, I would say 2 to 3 seconds of your reel. That time is really, really crucial, and I cannot stress this enough, right? So really paying good attention to what happens in the first 2 or 3 seconds of your reel, right? Because nowadays everyone is scrolling, right? We're scrolling through reels, and if you don't give people incentive to actually like stop and watch your video, it doesn't matter how good it is, right? You could be telling like the biggest juiciest secret of the whole world. If you don't title it that way, if you don't like lead like that, a lot of people are just gonna scroll past your reel, and they're not gonna watch it, they're not gonna see anything that's going on, and you have like lost a person there, right? So those first like 2 or 3 seconds are really important. So make sure to have a good hook, whether it's text on the screen, or it's something visual. If you're don't have anything of a text that you want to put in your reel, and also a good hook in the captions, right? So when you're scrolling through reels, you can see the first like beginning of a sentence of your caption. So that is also a good place to put a second hook if you already have one that's in your reel, or a good place to put another hook, right? So those first couple of words of your captions are also really important, and they should be really something that hooks your audience. So to make sure that they watch the reel all the way through and they read your captions, right? So making sure that those couple of things are in order will actually like help you maintain more people on your reel, and that is good for you because they will be able to see what you're about, they will read your captions, they will get familiar with you. And it's also good for the Instagram algorithm because your reel will have more of a watch time, and it will also, you know, signal to Instagram that this is, you know, something that is good. This is a good reel, so we should show it to more people, right? So always use good hooks in your reels. Another mistake that I'm seeing that goes hand in hand with the hook is the captions, and people not adding value in the captions. And that is such a big mistake because you know, if you hook someone in on your reel, they watch, you know, the whole video and they actually want to learn more and they're interested in more, they will go and read your captions. And if you don't have anything, you know, of a value in your caption, you leave them a blank or you don't like put anything in them, you will lose a lot of your audience. So make sure that you add value in your captions, and the longer and more intriguing it is, the better. Again, from the sense that it will keep people longer on your reel, and that is a good signal to Instagram. And you know, it will say, hey, this is a good reel. Again, people are staying longer on your reel, and your video might start to loop, right? It will appear like again and again, those, you know, couple of seconds that your video is, it will start to loop while people are reading your caption. So it is really important to have, you know, value in your captions as well, or at least a good call to action, right? Which is like this reel, save this reel for later, or you know, comment this, DM me for this, like whatever makes sense for your reel, right? So at least it needs to have a good call to action, so people that, you know, are interested and want to see more, want to learn more from the reel that they just watched, they know what to do next. Or again, you can add even more value in the caption itself and keep people longer there. That will also work. So never like, you know, not pay attention to your captions just because they are, you know, kind of like secondary when it comes to a reel, because they don't appear at the beginning. They are really important when it comes to your audience and actually like keeping people longer. Another mistake that I'm seeing on Instagram Reels that goes hand in hand with the captions is not having a clear call to action, right? Like I said, every reel, it needs to have a hook, a value in the middle, and it needs to end with a good call to action. What is a good call to action? A good call to action is something that your audience already wants to do after watching your reel, right? But you always have to remind them of that, right? So you always need to remind your audience if you want them to like something, if you want them to save something, if you want them to comment something, if you want them to reach out to you and DM you, you always have to remind them of stuff like that. Because if you don't say it, maybe even if they wanted to do it but they didn't hear it from you, they might end up scrolling and you lose someone, you know, who was a potential, you know, follower or, you know, audience, potential client, customer, whatever, just because you didn't put a clear call to action. And people don't know what to do after they have seen your reel. They want to learn more, but they don't know how. You have to give them the next step always. Another mistake that I'm seeing with, you know, a lot of reels is that people don't use hashtags and keywords in their reels anymore, right? And this is really important because it helps Instagram classify your reel. It tells, you know, Instagram what the reel is about. So how and where do you put this like hashtags and keywords? So keywords can go into your actual reel. If they are written in the Instagram app text, then the text that you write on your reel, if it's in the Instagram native font, they will also serve as keywords. Instagram can read that and tell what, you know, your post is actually about. So for example, if you're saying 5 tips on losing weight, Instagram will be able to read that if it's written in the Instagram font, and, you know, lose weight will be one of, you know, maybe the keywords that Instagram, you know, associates your posts with, right? Another place to put keywords are, you know, in the captions. So when you're writing your captions, this will come naturally, right? If you're talking about a topic, naturally you will mention some words that will act as keywords and help Instagram classify your post. But if you're not, talking about, a caption, you don't have that much of a long caption, or there's no really a way to, incorporate those keywords naturally into your caption, and for it to make sense, you can always add them at the end of your Instagram caption in little brackets where you can put like some topics that the reel is actually about, right? Like, losing weight, weight loss, and stuff like that, if you are talking about something like that on your reel, right? And the final thing is hashtags. Again, hashtags can also serve as keywords. If you put hashtag weight loss, right, it will, appear in that hashtag, your post will appear there, and it will also help Instagram classify what your post is actually about. And people can easily find you, people that are actually looking for weight loss, for example, recipes and tips and stuff like that, they can actually like find your post there. And it will also help your account in general if you are consistently using the same keywords and hashtags. It will help Instagram classify your whole account, and it will make them, it will make it clear what you're actually talking about, what your account is about, and who is your audience. And once that is clear on your account, it is so much easier, right, for people to find you, for Instagram to show your content to the right people that will actually, engage with your reels, become followers, and grow your audience, right? So it's all a little small piece of the puzzle. And Instagram Reels are a very powerful tool at the moment that you can use to really grow your account on Instagram and grow your business. The final and saddest mistake that I'm seeing with, a lot of people in account on Instagram is giving up too soon. They give up too soon on Reels because they post a couple of times and, the reels are not performing that much, and it takes them way too much time. They're like, this is not worth it. I'm not good at this, right? This is not working. I don't know what to do. And people just, give up. And that is the biggest mistake, because the only way to make Instagram Reels work for you is to try and test and post a lot, right? So you can know all the best tips, you can know all the best advice, you can make the best content, but if you give up too soon, if you give up after, posting a couple of times, it's not gonna work. Even if you are doing everything right with your reels, even if you're doing everything right, it can still take months and months and months for your account to start getting traction, and for some of your reels to start, getting a little bit viral and getting shown to the right audience that actually needs to see them, that will start interacting with you, with your reels, with your profile, and with you in general, right? So even if you're doing everything right, this is what I always say, it will take some time. But probably you're not gonna be doing everything right from the beginning, right? And it is only normal. Your first reel is probably gonna be bad, and that is completely fine, right? You can't get to your 100th reel if you don't make your first. So even if you're bad at the beginning, which you probably will be a little bit, it is still good to get that content out there, to constantly get better, to constantly learn, look at your insights, see what's working, see what's not working, do some more research, try to improve your reels all the time, learn the mistakes that you might be making, learn some good tactics and tips that you should be using, and with time you will get better, and your content will start to get seen by your audience. But that can only happen if you stay consistent and you don't give up. Okay, so that was it from this video. I hope you find it helpful. Again, give me a like if this video was helpful. Comment down below if there was some mistakes that maybe you were making on your reels, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.